diagonals of a rhombus are perpendicular bisectors of each other, and they have to hit at a 90-degree angle. So because you have to have one side here. Yes, remember that Venn diagram, right? A rhombus is a parallelogram, so they're bisectors of one another. But also the thing that distinguishes is its diagonals are perpendicular, so they're perpendicular bisectors. So on this problem, because you have to have one side of the rhombus on the ray, what I would do is I would go to the diagonals and I would actually construct the perpendicular bisector here, and then find the midpoint of this and make a circle around that has the same diameter as the shorter diagonal. And I would actually get the whole rhombus on over here and then transfer it to there. It's actually going to be easier than, you don't have to copy any angles. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my compass and, whoops, see if I can get the compass here. Hold on. So I'm going to make a perpendicular bisector of this small one. It doesn't really matter which one. I'm basically going to just find the midpoint and make a perpendicular bisector. So when I do that, I can then put in the perpendicular bisector here. Let me zoom in a little bit. And okay, so that's this part here. This is where I'm going to then build my height. I mean my rhombus. This is number 2. So now I'm going to take my second diagonal and find the midpoint of it. By doing the same type of thing, I'll switch the color so you don't get mixed up with the constructions. So now I'm finding the midpoint of the second diagonal. And I'm going to do the same thing I just did. Put in that, and so now what I have is half of the length of the longer diagonal. So if I put my compass here now, I can make a circle, and I'm going to put it in purple here. That circle tells me the endpoints, the vertices of the rhombus. So look at real closely here. I know this is one vertex now, and I already knew that was one vertex because that was the end of the short diagonal. And then this is the other vertex, and that's the last vertex. So I've made the rhombus. Okay? What that tells me, what makes this easy now, is I have the side length. I never had the side length before. And so now I can just figure out the side length with my compass can mark it off here. I know that my side length has to be there, but I also know it's going to be somewhere up here, and I know one of the diagonal lengths. So if I go back to here, I can just take the long diagonal length or the short diagonal length, doesn't really matter how it's long, and I'm going to get that long diagonal length, and what that's going to do is give me one of the vertices, because the side and the diagonal intersect. So I just come over to the side, and I'm going to swing an arc here. So I know my diagonal has to hit along there, and then, oops. So I hold on, I should have backed up a bit. I did too many steps. Okay, I have one side length, right? And then I can use that same side length in two places. And then I know that my diagonal intersects my side.
So that's the same size circle.
Right. So here's my diagonal here, my side length. That's what this purple arc is. Right. And from here, I'm going to mark off the diagonal like I just did. So that was my second thing. So when I do that, that's the diagonal length, but I'm going to go back to the side length and get a second side length, which is this. It's the same as I had here, right? And I'm going to move my compass and then rotate so I have the vertex. Do you see what I did? And now that I have the vertex, I can put my compass here and make another arc. And so I've got all four vertices. Let's say they were R, H, O, and then M. So my rhombus would be right there. Is that unique? This one's unique. There's no other way.
I did it.
The first one was not unique, right? Does that help you guys? Yeah, yeah.